Well, welcome back, honey. Episode 4?
Quattro.
Episode 4 of the We're Still Married pod. I can't talk today. Alright, so we're going to be talking about in-laws. In-laws. We all know them. We all love them. Do you think that...
No. Just kidding. Straight up answer. No.
No, do you think that the in-laws should have a say in a relationship and or in a marriage?
No. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
And hear me out. Let's just say my parents, if they've gone through something that you and I are trying to figure out, I'll hear them. That doesn't mean I'm always listening to them. Sorry, mom, dad. But I'll hear them out because, they've gone through it. How did they react to it? What could they have done differently? Or if it's something that I know your parents have gone through, I'll ask your mom. I mean, I don't really go to your dad.
That's fair.
But I go to my suegra a lot.
Yeah.
And she's like my number one person on your side, your family.
Yeah.
And she'll give me her advice. But what I really like that both of our parents always tell us is you guys can take or leave our advice, but you guys need to figure it out on your own.
Right.
And so that's where I'm just like, they shouldn't be involved though, because it's yours and your spouse's marriage or, your significant other's relationship.
Yeah.
What may have worked for them may not work for you or vice versa.
Yeah.
So
100%. No, yeah, I definitely agree. I think you should hear them out because obviously they love you and they want what's best for you.
Right.
But, they're also, I think a part of that is also what's saying what they want you to do. But at the end of the day, like, we're very independent people. So we don't like to get advice from other people. I don't, and you don't either.
Like I said, I'll hear.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll always hear somebody out. We're very open-minded, but at the end of the day, we know in the back of our head, the way our minds think is
thought that was my headache. I was like, oh my God.
The way we think is oh, they're not the ones in the relationship.
Right.
They're not the ones having to actually do the shit. So. And,
it just comes to the bottom is that's their relationship, their marriage.
Yeah.
Because, and anytime anyone tells me anything, I'm just like, well, I'm the one that lays in bed with him at night. You're not. So it's my choice kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of, I think that speaks to all or majority of millennials. I think it's the way that we were wired growing up, in the media that we saw and the stuff that we grew up with, and I think that's why we're more stubborn in that way, of we're gonna make our own decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, but you also got to remember, we come from a generation, and at least my family's, where there's a bunch of chismosos. So
yeah, that's it.
So
that's both of our families.
Anytime there's drama, especially in a marriage or a relationship,
right away
they eat it up. They're just like, "Ay, ¿qué está pasando? What's happening?"
Yeah.
Right there with the fucking popcorn, just
ready to go.
Let's go. Ooh, and then instigating it too. Oh, he called you this. Oh, she said that. Ándale, pinche baboso, mira cómo te está hablando. And I was like, my god, damn.
Oh shit!
So I mean, no
hilarious.
matter what you do in your marriage or in your relationship, there's always gonna be opinions from those in-laws.
They're always gonna have something to say.
Yeah, there's always something, because what works for you may or may not work for them.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we see things may not work in, anyone else's marriage.
Yeah, and I think naturally we just become kind of closed off in our relationship in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we don't want like the drama, or we don't want the opinions.
Yeah.
We'd rather just keep people out of it. Just like.
Yeah. I mean, and we just figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That, or, I think there is a time and place to reach out and ask for someone else's opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, if we couldn't figure it out, I would be like, yeah, I need a vent.
Yeah.
And, I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's usually like almost after when the problem gets fixed.
When everything settles down.
A little. I mean, it's the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Right. Right in the middle.
I'm like right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
I'm still pissed, but I'm not pissed. And it's the in-between thought of, can I make the orange jumpsuit? Can I pull it off?
Damn. Chill.
Can I or can I not pull off that orange jumpsuit?
Chill. Oh, I'm not even gonna give you the answer, but the answer is yes. Do you think it's okay to put your spouse before your parents?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes.
Explain.
So, I was raised a very whitewashed Hispanic household.
Okay.
But my mom and my dad have always told me, when you are in a relationship, let alone married,
Mm-hmm.
your spouse comes first, because they are now your family.
Mm-hmm.
My dad always said, there's a difference between the family you're born into and the family that you create.
Mm-hmm.
So I always do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also as well, like in my family, you serve the man, and that just works for, opposite sex relationships. I don't know how it works in others, but at least like when it comes to a man and a woman in my family household, you serve your spouse, you serve that man, and then it goes down to every other man from that. Like if we would have had a boy,
Mm-hmm.
our boy would have been served next, then my dad, and then so on and so forth.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, that's like the upbringing that I had and still kind of think about.
I like that.
It's like drilled into me on that.
Yeah.
What's your intake on it? I know I talk a lot.
No, you're good. I actually I liked hearing your answer. It was very like thorough, and it was good. For me, if you had asked me this, 10 years ago, I would have answered differently. But for me, it's the same. I think putting the family that you make first before the family that you come from. But I wasn't raised really learning that,
Oh, I know.
We were always raised like, oh, your blood is everything. Your blood, nothing comes before blood.
Blood's thicker than water.
Blood. Yeah, all that. So for me, it was kind of an adjustment. But I did agree with your answer more. So that's why, like, throughout the years, I did. You changed my mind completely on that. So, yeah. And that's just another thing of keeping an open mind. I wasn't right in the situation, I don't think. No. There might be others that think that way, And that's their perception. I respect it. But for me, I no longer think that way.
Good.
Shut up, dude.
Trained
You already
right.
have me. What more do you want,
Yeah.
honey?
For you to do those damn dishes. That's what I want. Why did the Mexican go to the doctor for his anti-anxiety medication?
Why did the Mexican go to... Because Juan had to?
For his panic attacks.
You're stupid.
Dude, that whole entire trip when we were in Cancun, I was fucking Google Translate for everything. So anytime we went shopping or you had a question, you would be like, Christina. Honey,
hit you with that shoulder tap.
Honey.
Honey.
Translate. What? What? It's like, bitch, you know Spanish too.
Okay, but
It was always...
no, I've learned a lot since then though. I didn't know that much at that point.
But you understood it.
I understood a lot of it, yeah, but I didn't know how to respond to it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where I was struggling. I was like, Christina, tell him that I'll take
Snapping the finger.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled. Like, yeah, dude, we know who you are. You won't be yelling at me about it.
No. His catchphrase is like, another one.
Not that one. Yeah. Another one of what? What?
I think another one hit record.
Well, where's the other one at? Where it at now?
Well, this was a interesting episode.
I mean, it was a little short.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Biggest give take is you and your partner should just be the ones in that marriage, in that relationship. Don't let others persuade you on any choices that you're gonna make in that relationship. If you guys are gonna do something, do it with an open mind and discuss it together. Now, unless it it's going to the downfall, still don't go to your family, because what if you decide and be like, oh, I'm making a mistake, I'm not gonna do it, and then you talked all this shit to your family and friends, and you get back with that person, it's kind of like, wait, what the fuck?
Right.
So set those boundaries up with your friends, family, as well as your partner in that relationship.
Yeah, this was a really good episode though.
Yeah.
I really like that discussion. I like that talk. We've had that talk in our relationship so many times.
Multiple times. More than
So
I
many
can
times.
count. There was even a time it recently happened.
Yep.
But I feel like that's like another episode, another topic that we might have to discuss later on.
Yeah.
With things like that.
Yeah, for sure. But if you guys made it this far in the podcast, what are you doing? Subscribe. Like the video.
Like, subscribe, share, follow. Like for sure. Come on. Leave a comment.
Let's go.
Tell us, what are your guys' opinion?
Right.
Do y'all think, friends, family, in-laws, shit, even if you're with an outlaw,
Yeah.
should they be coming in between your guys' marriage, relationship? How does it work for you guys? You guys have any questions? Like, how did we overcome it? How we discuss things like that? Let us know. But make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, damn it, or else I'm gonna make that orange jumpsuit come to reality.
Under the sea.